Alright guys, so before we get into the review video, before we get into anything, I'd like to thank everybody who submitted into our giveaway. Thank you guys so much for just taking the time and just jumping in with us, following us. I hope to see you guys in future videos. We got a lot of giveaways. I do a lot of giveaways. I do a lot of things going on for all the viewers that are watching too. We do giveaways. We do give out our prizes. We do a lot of stuff, and I just enjoy giving back to my community that jumps in and interacts with me and just chills with me in this little gaming community we got going. So, as you can see, we got the little wheel. Basically, we're going to spin the wheel 3 times. The first two names are not going to get picked. And then we're going to have the third name win. It is all at random. As you can see, I put all the names of everybody who submitted. Um, submitted a thing and they put their name in our social media, and I will contact them through that social media. And so, without further ado, guys, let's get the giveaway going. Let's get it going. We're gonna click the first one. We're gonna keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, and let it stop. All right, EXO. I'm sorry, my friend, but you are out. Let's apply that change. So we're -1. There's the first one. I'm sorry, EXO. EXO is a great supporter of the stream. I'm sorry, buddy. We're gonna run it. 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 And the second person. Ah, Rose. I am so sorry, Rose. She's always on the stream supporting. I'm so sorry, Rose. Thank you for participating. All right, guys. Here we go. Number three. Number three is our winner. Number three is our winner. Matt Curry. Matt Curry. I think Matt Curry is on Facebook. Awesome. All right, Matt Curry. I'm gonna be posting up the video. I will be sending him a message on Facebook. He submitted our giveaway through Facebook. If he does not respond, we will redo the spin and add Exos and Rose back in. And if he does not respond in a good amount of time, we'll pick someone else as a winner. But congratulations, Matt Curry, and we'll be posting the fact that he did receive the game later on in our social media. So don't forget to follow us, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys think about Days Gone, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys in the stream as well. Thank you guys for stopping by. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to a new series. It's your boy Big O Nuggets, and today we're gonna start something different that I've been meaning to start for a while. We're gonna start reviewing different games that we play. So we're just gonna give you our thoughts on the latest titles being released. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I do not claim to be any kind of professional game reviewer, anybody that thinks that I know about games and I'm trying to tell you guys something. I'm just going to give you guys my honest opinion on all the games that we personally play and stream on my channel and videos that we post on my YouTube channel. So, with that being said, guys, welcome to Big O Nuggets Gamer Reviews. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the post-apocalyptic world of Days Gone. Basically, Days Gone takes you into a zombie-infested world where you play as Deacon St. John, a biker slash drifter that's just cruising around, surviving, and taking the toll of the loss of his wife during the outbreak. So we see Deacon here with this one of his best friends, Boozer, two bikers just basically trying to survive, going from camp to camp, getting bounties, doing basically missions for these different camps just so they can stay alive and just survive this zombie infested world. We get to see a lot of character development through Deacon and Boozer. We get to see how they struggled through various enemies and just trying to survive the zombies. This game has a great story behind it. And we're just going to take a deep dive into everything that has to do with Days Gone. So we're starting off with Days Gone. Honestly, for me personally, the first 6 hours or so felt a little bit slow. Things tend to get a little repetitive as you proceed through the game. You start to see a lot of familiar elements from different games, coming from the crafting, the skill tree, and just a lot of the combat based in this game. While I was streaming this, a lot of my fans were coming up saying that this had a great, like a really big feel for Red Dead Redemption and Horizon Zero Dawn, and even GTA 5 a little bit. The way they had the whole the wheel to pick your weapons, to craft your items, a lot of different elements from various games tossed into one, and just how the story plays out the first 6 hours. Honestly, I started to feel like these critics were a little bit right about what was going on. How the game felt a little bland. It was just a rinse and repeat, kind of, taking all this stuff and just jamming it into one game, just because they added motorcycles and zombies and this and that. Um, I started to be like, oh man, I just hope this picks up. But as you proceed through the story, the story really starts to unravel itself into this bigger plot, and it just becomes a lot more interesting. The freakers, which are the zombies, get more interesting. The character development gets deeper and deeper as you continue, and just this game, I feel like it's been so underrated. I feel like people only played the first couple hours of this game and then dropped it and decided to be like, you know what? Yeah, this game feels like every other game we've seen. It is kind of tough to really have a single player game stand out with all these amazing titles that have been out. To really have a single player game, especially that has to do with zombies, stand out. You need to really, you know, think outside the box and do something big. But I still feel like Days Gone does a little bit of that, does stuff that hasn't been seen before, and just goes from there, from the zombies to the enemies, and again, just the amazing storyline. So we're gonna dive into those little parts and also the negative parts of this game. One of the main things I want to dive into is got to be the freakers, basically the zombie type people in this game. So this infection, the way they describe these freakers, is like they're basically zombies, but they still think and they evolve throughout the story. So in the beginning, we get your typical freakers, just typical zombies running around all throughout the map. But as we progress through the game, we get to encounter different freakers. You get to see the evolution of these creatures as the game progresses. I gotta say, the freakers roam around in this open world freely. They're out there, and I love the fact how the environment truly affects how these zombies act. So basically, during the day, if you're just cruising through your bike during the day, you're not really gonna see too many freakers. You'll see a couple here and there, and you'll probably see some in houses and stuff. But once the nighttime comes, and once it starts to rain and snow, and it gets cold, these are the ideal temperature and climate for the freakers to come out. I remember just cruising around, and I would accidentally, fall off my bike, or I run out of gas in the middle of, of the desert or wherever I'm at in the map, and I would just get swarmed by freakers everywhere. And that wouldn't happen to me so much during the day. So I like how they made that, aspect of it too, where the environment truly affects the freakers as you continue throughout the game, and as you progress through the game. I guess the main part we all saw in that E3 trailer, when they revealed the game, was the hordes. The hordes are just insane. Just watching a wave of zombies rush towards you is just intense. If you're not able to juke or find a good game plan, you'll easily get overrun. You'll run out of stamina, and you'll get just taken over by these zombie hordes. And it's just, the way they did everything is just great. The way how they actually do hide inside and hibernate during the day in caves and all these other stuff, and how they do come out and travel in packs and just come out. So I really think the freakers were a great idea into this game. I love the zombies in this. I love the freakers. I love how they just were able to incorporate these different types of freakers. And I won't spoil too much. I want you guys to see throughout the game, but you get to see different variety of of freakers. Just kind of like, think about it like, in a sense, what would be that game I'm thinking about? Left 4 Dead, with the different classes of zombies. This is what you kind of see a little bit in Days Gone with the freakers. Another thing that really, in my opinion, besides the freakers, that caught my eye is just how they actually made the infection infect the wildlife. I've seen besides Resident Evil, because I think Resident Evil was the other game that really had like infected dogs and infected animals. They in this, I guess the wildlife in Oregon where this game is based off of, they added infected bears and wolves, which is just amazing. That's one of the biggest things that made me really want to look into this game when I saw the reveal trailer and we saw that bear with the barbed wire eating up, just chasing you in that one scene, and actually encountering a lot of them in the wild was just exactly what I wanted to see. A virus that did just not you know do things for just humans, but actually animals, and that's what really got my attention. And also, there's non-infected bears, wolves, and cougars, and deer. There's animals, wildlife roaming around through the map. I just really like those little aspects of things because I think that's what really, besides just having zombies, every other game has just zombies and that's about it. But I liked how they added the wildlife into this, especially that's basically what you'd encounter up in Oregon if you're roaming around, mountain lions, cougars, bears, wolves, all that stuff. It's just a great thing that they added, and I felt like it gave it that extra little touch to it that it needed besides just having a bunch of zombies. Also, besides wildlife and the freakers, you actually have a group of occultists that call themselves the Rippers. And I like that too because this game throws a lot at you that if you don't have to worry about the freakers. Then you got to worry about the wildlife. If the wildlife is not there, you got to worry about the Rippers. And besides the Rippers, you actually have just marauders and just people that have survived that just basically murder each other. And you get through a lot of different ambushes. You're cruising through, and then they have a wire out, and you'll get knocked off your bike, and you'll get ambushed by people. There's snipers posted out that will shoot you out of your bike, and you'll get rushed by a bunch of people. The way that they added all these different enemies to the game, and made just the world so sporadic. Like I remember, I'd just be cruising and chilling, driving around, and just enjoying the wildlife and enjoying the scenery and everything. And then out of nowhere, I'd get attacked by a bear. I get attacked by by a group of marauders or rippers, and it just makes just the environment a little bit better. I think it's really just always kept me on edge. I would always be surprised. I thought, I cleared this area out, and then bam, you get hit by something else. So I just love all that part that they've added with from wildlife to the rippers to just people in general just trying to survive. And that's what it comes down to in a post-apocalyptic world. Some people just don't want to play nice with each other, and it's just basically killed or be killed. And I just love that aspect that they added into this game. And I gotta say this for the freakers that I missed. I gotta say that they went above and beyond by actually adding children that were infected, children freakers that were called newts. And you'll just see these little kids cruising around on top of houses in little bunches, and you'd figure like who would add children like that? Like they really pushed that little boundary where I don't think a lot of developers or game creators have gone to make actual children zombies, because you go up there and you smack the hell out of them. You'll stab them, run them over, shoot them, and they're kids. And you in your mind you think like, oh snap, like I think that was another great thing that they did that really puts Days Gone aside from all your typical zombie games, that they actually added children. And and I gotta say the newts are freaky as hell, and it just feels I feel a little iffy having to kill them, but I gotta do what I gotta do to survive. But it just felt a little iffy, and honestly, hats off to Ben Studios because about adding the little children aspect to it. That was a little neat design, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. And now we're gonna look at kind of the downside to some things that I was, as I progressed and everything through the game. Riding your bike, one of the big things. It wasn't too much of a big issue, but it got annoying a little bit at times. Where when I get attacked by marauders, or I crash and this and that, I had to be constantly fixing my bike. It's a great aspect to it. I think it's great. I think that having to fix your bike and having damage and this and that is great because sometimes you'll just get stranded out of nowhere. But it got a little too like, here we go. I gotta go find some parts, and then just the gasoline as well. I run out of gas out of nowhere sometimes, and I have to walk a mile to find gas and walk back to get it. And I've seen a lot of people complain about the gas and the fixing your bike. I don't think it was too much of an issue. It got a little annoying at times, but I looked over it because I just kept going. And once you upgrade your motorcycle to a point, it gets better. But I feel like people that didn't play and didn't get to that point and only play a little bit and got tired of it didn't get to see that as you progress, it gets a little bit better. But it would get annoying at times for sure. And now the real issue that was going on, I guess, has been that the PS4 and the PS4 Slim, while you play Days Gone, you start to get a significant frame drop where the game starts to freeze and the frames just drop so bad that it's almost impossible to play the game. I'd be driving and the frames would drop out of nowhere and I'd crash into a tree or something, or I wouldn't be able to control my bike. And it just, that really became a nuisance, especially once you face a big horde. Once you face a horde, the frames would just drop so badly, and I'd feel like it just moves frame by frame as I try to run away and turn around and shoot and do these things. I know this was a big issue. I do believe that they have patched a lot of this, but this is still a constant issue that has been going on. I know the PS4 Pro suffers just a bit on the frame rate drop, but the PS4 and the PS4 Slim really take a really big beating on this frame rate drop. There was also continuous glitches where I'd fall off the map at times. The freakers would get glitched and they'd be just moving, jumping around. Also, when someone would be caught between some zombies, some freakers, you had to save them, and when you talk to them, the speech and the way they move their mouth wasn't at tune together. So the game definitely does have its little bugs and issues. It does have its certain things that you're like, goddamn, coming from a AAA game, Sony, a PlayStation exclusive, you'd figure a lot of these bugs wouldn't be like that, but it did have its little issues. But every game has its issues. It has its bugs, and it's just these are the ones that really stood out to me that were out there, and that especially the frame drop. Like I wouldn't mind the some of the glitches that were going on, but just the way the frame rate would drop so badly, that was a big like no for me. Like I was like, okay, this is getting a little too much. So uh, to me, those were the main issues that stood out. But besides that, everything else was great. But these were basically the main issues uh, to me. Now there is still so much more to this game that I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil anything because I want you guys to dive in there and play this game. I want you guys to go out and explore and just enjoy the world that Days Gone has to offer. If you like a heavy story-driven game, Days Gone is the game for you. If you just want to have like this Son of Anarchy vibe, going around smashing zombies, driving around, Days Gone is definitely the game for you. Um, like I said, there's so much more I want to talk about the story. The story gets better and better as you continue. So the first couple hours, like I mentioned, is just like a little, you're on your little training wheels. You're getting the ball rolling. And as you progress deeper into the story, you unlock better guns. You find a lot more freakers, and it just gets more diverse and open as you continue. The way that you interact with different camps is amazing, building up your friendship with them. And the more friendship you build doing these missions for them, the more you can get different guns, different upgrades for your motorcycle, and just it just feels good to go back and upgrade these your trust with these camps, and then unlocking that level 3 gun or a level 4 gun or those upgrades for your motorcycle. So all that just really comes together in one for this game. Again, like I said, I've been enjoying this game so much. I just finished it. I did about 27 hours into this game, and I believe they said that to finish the storyline, besides there's still a lot of side mission stuff to do, but besides the storyline, you got 27, about roughly around 30 hours. I did 27 hours, but roughly around 30 hours to finish the game. You know, and there's still a lot more stuff to do once you beat the game. I just beat it. I still got a lot of nests to finish, hordes to kill, a lot of groups and marauder camps to, you know, to finish up the some missions from some of the camps. And there's so much, you know, there's still so much more to do in this game. And it's just like it's amazing. I love it. I'm now gonna keep playing it now, even though I finished the game, and after I finish certain stuff, I'm gonna keep going back to it. I really hope they add some DLC content to this game. I feel like it really deserves it. I feel like Days Gone has been so underrated. I feel like so many people have just been bashing on it because it wasn't that PlayStation exclusive game they thought it was gonna be. Uh, I think there's a lot of great people reviewing this game out there. So I would just recommend looking at all the sides to it. Like, I see the negative side to it. I see what people say about the rinse and repeat, all these different aspects coming into one. But I feel like Days Gone really takes a lot of things and still makes it its own. It does its own thing, and I feel like this is a unique game that should be getting more credit and not getting trashed on like I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do it. So we're gonna rate this game an 8 out of 10 because story wise and just everything combined, I believe is great. The only reason why we're giving it 8 out of 10 because it does have some significant issues that I don't think a AAA game should have too much of. So 8 out of 10, a must buy, a must play. Definitely, you know, if you guys, you know, want to wait until it's on sale, that's another great thing too. But I would highly recommend you guys support this game a lot because I think, like I said, I think Days Gone just got shitted on so bad because people weren't happy about it. And all these mainstream reviewers were just crapping on the game. And I don't think you should really look into all those reviews. And I would take those reviews, take it a grain of salt. I would look at actual content creators that play through the game, stream it, and upload the review on it. You know, I'm not saying this is the next Days Gone. It has the potential. If it would have been, would have been sort of stuff to fix it. But that being said, this is still a must buy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope I wasn't too all over the place my first time. I'm trying to get better at all this. And as we play different games, as we continue, we're going to try to get better with our reviews. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We got a lot of other games coming up they're going to be reviewing and looking into. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check us out on social media and our Twitch and everything because we do have lots and lots of giveaways coming up for you guys. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next video.